at Jimmy Dore's analysis of Virginia's death, and he incorporates Ryan Dawson, he incorporates Whitney Webb, and then we're going to be looking at the latest news stories. The one that's just come out here within the hour is read the handwritten note Virginia left behind after her unalivement, as her brother shares her powerful message from beyond the grave, quote, not going away. So we are going to be checking that out. Now, do you, I imagine a few of you, watch Jimmy Dore's channel? He does excellent analysis on geopolitics and absolutely rips the piss. He's so funny. He's coming to the UK on tour as well. So I think it's in May. I'm going to have to check out the dates and see if I can get to one of his performances. If Jimmy gets to watch this, if anyone sends it to him, I've put the video for Jimmy's analysis of Virginia at the top of the description box, because at the end of it, he gets a bit Q, if you know what I mean, a bit pizza, and I can't play the end of it because we're under such scrutiny on this channel. But like I said, if you want to watch it on his channel, videos at the top of the description box. So let me know in the chat if any of you are watching Jimmy Dore, if you are already subscribed. Right, so what we're going to do then is we're going to play some of his analysis, and then I shall stop and comment on it. So let's go.
December 10th, 2019. So
let me see. Mute, unmute. Have I got my headset turned on? 1 second. That would probably bloody help, wouldn't it? There we go. All right, let's go.
About roughly 5 years ago, I'm making it publicly known that in no way, shape, or form am I
Let's skip that word. The S word.
Shape or form am I suicidal?
Whoops.
I've made this known to my therapist and my general practitioner. If something happens to me in the sake of my family, do not let this go away and help me to protect them. Too many evil people want to see me quieted. So,
all right. So he's starting the video out with the note, the post that Virginia did, and on Twitter, and that was approximately 5 years ago, I believe, saying that she was not going to unalive herself.
Why should we be suspicious? Just that she's talking about the fact that she isn't suicidal and that evil people want her dead. Like, why would the same people behind Giuffre Epstein want one of his victims dead? It's what are you going to put your tinfoil hat on a little too tight? And by the way, where the F do you get tinfoil these days? It's all.
So even David Boies, who Kirby Summers said was not acting in the best interest of Virginia, even he said on Piers Morgan that the Epstein collaborators were still at work with a diabolical trolling and reputational harm scheming against Virginia.
It's all aluminum, right? I got to go back to 1913 just to get tinfoil. I'd love
aluminium, we call it in this country, not aluminum. Get it right, Jimmy.
Tinfoil.
That's right.
Aluminum's no good. Tin, I'll take tin. And by the way, if you could go back to 1913, what would you do? That's my big question.
In 1913, stepping a lot of horse shit, probably.
Yeah, probably. By the way, a lot of people say right before they suicide themselves that they're not suicidal. That happens all the time. That's called a cry for help, if I'm not mistaken. Am I right?
Cry for no help.
So what
it's
I
called
did,
a cry for no help.
Here's what I tweeted out. I said Virginia Giuffre tweeted Giuffre was not suicidal. She knew they were going to kill her. The Mockingbird media immediately reports she committed suicide. Immediately. If you think Epstein's most vocal and outspoken victim committed suicide, then I've got a COVID vaccine I'd like to sell you. That's me being cheeky.
Can you just give it to me for free?
I think so. So here's a little bit of the story. So her life certainly fell apart since she tweeted that out. Since she tweeted out she's not suicidal, a lot of sketchy things happened, right?
Like 6 years.
She got into a bus crash. A bus crashed into her, rendered her. She said it was going 70 miles an hour. I've never seen a school bus go 70 miles an hour.
110. She had 110.
Did she?
It was not.
There's no way that could be. So, and then she didn't even go to the hospital that day. She went the next day. And then at the hospital, she said, the doctor said, I have 4 days left to live because of my kidney thing. Well, first of all, what doctor says 4 days? But there's a lot of speculation that because her marriage had fallen apart of 22 years and her kids were taken away from her, that she was being desperate and she was tweeting out that she's on death's bed so that her kids would come visit her. That's speculation. Right. It's all speculation. But
not unreasonable.
Not unreasonable. No, of course, it's not unreasonable.
Yeah. So, Kirby Summers analyzed a lot of what he's just said in great depth on the stream we did with her yesterday. So I would urge people to check that one out. Jimmy should perhaps quote some of Kirby's work or get her on.
So here's what I got this from Gateway Pundit. The New York Post, however, reported that the crash was minor and that a mother of one of the children on the school bus reportedly said, I don't know what's true and what's not true, but I do know the injuries are not from the bus incident. So she had all these injuries. She had all these bruises and what have you. Giuffre was sexually abused by Epstein and Maxwell from 1999 through 2002.
When we say sexually abused, let's be clear. She was raped repeatedly.
Yeah, she said she was passed around like a candy dish. After she met the couple in Florida and was lured into their scheme as she attempted to straighten out her life. She was a victim of sexual abuse as a child. So that's exactly the kind of people they prey on, right? Giuffre said that she was trafficked to many high-powered friends of Epstein.
And I wasn't unaware till Kirby told us yesterday that the SA started within her family at age 7. It was a family member SAing her from age 7. Unbelievable. Disgusting. Horrible.
Notably Prince Andrew and French modeling mogul Jean-Luc Brunel. Giuffre sued Prince Andrew in 2021, leading to an undisclosed settlement in 2022 while maintaining he never had sex with her. Yeah, okay. That's why
and he doesn't sweat. Here's his two
that's
honest
right.
statements.
Remember that? He doesn't sweat? That was his big thing.
It's like a dog.
So guess what? That guy Brunel was charged with sexual harassment and the rape of a minor in December of 2020. Giuffre testified against him in Paris in June of 2021. While he denied wrongdoing, he died allegedly by suicide. Epstein died of suicide. Brunel died of suicide.
And we did an analysis of Brunel's story, complete backstory, 2 nights ago, if you missed that one.
Now the accuser died of suicide. It's a
sad story. Really must be a story of bullying now that I think of it.
So he died of suicide while in pre-trial detention. Sounds
And we documented all of the Brunel stuff in my book, Who Killed Epstein.
Just like Jeffrey Epstein's suicide, isn't it? He was in pre-trial detention, and he died to say he killed himself. That's a little chagrin. What's the chances?
On the guards there.
What are the chances that would happen? I'm going to guess 100%. So it looks like they were afraid Brunel was going to spill the beans.
So he's got a good point. All the principals in this case have been unalived. All of the biggest names, except for Glenn Maxwell and the Queen's favorite son.
So they suicided him. Okay. So there's nothing clear about this case. I'm not saying she didn't suicide herself. I'm saying that I don't know how anybody could be sure. Now, our good friend Ryan Dawson, who's a friend of the show, he makes a compelling case here. He says Virginia Giuffre, her kidney failure wasn't from the car crash. Going to the hospital because of a car crash serendipitously alerted doctors to her kidney condition that was already terrible because I guess she was taking pills for years. She was taking opioids, and those mess up your liver.
Or you know what kind of pills it was?
No, I do not. Do you?
Oh, no, I never saw where it says. I just see pills.
Yeah,
A lot
pills.
of different pills.
They told her she had about 4 days to live if she didn't get treatment. She wanted to see her kids. No one came. Her kidneys were most likely dying from pills and the sexual abuse from sexual abuse plus a looming divorce plus being separated from her kids plus tabloids attacking her was killing her.
So Ryan's got a good list of the factors there, and that's what gave us the heads up to the pharmacide angle. And then that was confirmed a day or so after Ryan posted that. More information came out about the pills, and it'll be interesting to see on the autopsy exactly what medication she was on.
She self-medicated. She died last night, April 25th, and on her farm in Australia. And he says, I know people are making a picture of a post she made 6 years ago. It's not 6. It's about 5. It's about 5 years, right?
Yeah.
5. 4 or 5.
2019, 2025.
So
You're fine.
December of 2019 would be about 5 years, right?
Yes.
Okay. Saying she'd never kill herself. That was before losing her husband of 22 years and 3 kids. She said 2 weeks ago that she was ready to go and just wanted to see her babies one last time. She posted the song Somebody That I Used to Know. That song, Somebody That I Used to Know.
Elliott Smith. That's very. That is a kind of strong evidence if you post Elliott Smith music.
Well, he also committed suicide. Elliott Smith, right?
That some people don't think it was suicide, but
you're kidding.
I have no idea. Oh yeah.
Okay.
There's always a question.
She posted a black screen with a broken heart emoji. Okay. He goes on to say, stop saying Virginia was killed. You are scaring the shit out of the other victims. I've been calming down panicked women all day. This isn't some joke. Think before you write stuff. These are real people. Virginia has a family. I really hate conspiracy kooks. You don't.
Do you? Like,
Well,
look,
what?
if you're not purposeful disinformation, I don't know why you would have that feeling, because how are people to react? We didn't get the evidence we were supposed to get.
We didn't get it.
And now she's dead. So, both things are still plausible. I honestly am not sure, because it could have been that.
Okay.
Yeah, there's just so many different theories swirling around right now, and we need more information, especially to find out what medication she was on. And I'd love to know about the doctor as well that prescribed it and what analysis was being doing on her kidneys to prevent her from causing harm. Surely they should have been monitoring that situation.
So he says, trust me, you don't know the full extent of the story. Trust me, you don't.
I know. That's why everybody's suspicious.
Nobody knows the full extent. They never released all the Epstein stuff. And anyway, so keep going. And you don't have to, but you do know that you don't know. So stop flippantly guessing just because it's good for the memes.
That's not why.
I swear our social society is pure rot. People will do anything for clicks. Stop monetizing other people's suffering. Virginia was absolutely heartbroken, devastatingly hollowed. She is a...
Yeah, Ryan was overwhelmed that day. He was supporting people because, like I said, the community that we've got here, whereby we've interviewed survivors, activists, researchers. When the Ep story first broke, that's been going for 5-6 years. But Ryan's been researching this stuff for 20 years. So can you imagine all the connections he has and all the relationships he's formed over that 20-year period, including with survivors such as Virginia, Maria Farmer, etc.
Huge reason why Epstein and Maxwell and Brunel all landed behind bars and why Prince Andrew lost $16 million. She did great damage to the pedophile network, but they also did great damage to her. Don't lie about her life or her death. No, I'm not lying. I don't know. I guess maybe other people are.
He's talking about like on X, people will post real like crap. There's like aggregators like that Tong dude from Malaysia.
Okay. She had kidney problems, and that's not related to the bus accident. It's just something they discovered because of the accident. She wasn't doing well, and that's all I will say. And it's not a surprise to me at all that she took her own life. She had a 5-year nightmare with serial rapists. Honor what she did. She took them down. I do honor what she did. It damaged her. Other things did too, but this was a broken and rebuilt person. She jailed 3 of them and sued others. She brought closure to hundreds of women. She took on teams of lawyers with nothing and won. Never forget her.
Last night we had a tribute panel to Virginia, and the atmosphere was lovely, and you could feel people transforming their grief into the energy to keep the activism going for Virginia, to keep the light shining.
I certainly don't know either way. Now, maybe Ryan has inside info that he hasn't released. He said, I'm not going to release it. That's all I'm going to say. So, and maybe if I had that information, I would think differently, but I don't know what to think.
Yeah.
But I do know there's lots of suspicious suicide. And so the theory is like, well, why would they kill her now? She already told her whole story. By the way, guess where she got trapped? Guess where Epstein met her? Do you know where Epstein met her? Mar-a-Lago.
Oh, yeah, right.
That's where they got her. That's where they.
Well, Melania might be one of those brides that he developed for rich people.
So that's where I don't. All I know is that that's where they met her, and I think it's okay to speculate about this case. She's dead, so it's not going to hurt her, and I don't think it's crazy or irresponsible. You have to report it, and then you have to report that being skeptical of the official story doesn't make everybody a crazy kook.
Yeah, he's totally right. We're all allowed to have our opinions, and some of the theories that seem to be in competition with each other actually, I believe, overlap, because even though she may have had a hand in her own unalivement, if she was pharmacided, then you've got to look at the root causes, not the act that she performed herself at the end.
And
it sounds like he's talking to somebody specifically that he saw, to me.
Yeah, I'm sure he saw a lot of garbage. So I immediately by the way, underneath my post, I immediately put his post there. I was like, hey, Ryan Dawson says I got this wrong, and he makes a compelling case. So it wasn't like I was trying to just tell one side of the story. I'm like, well, here's the other side of the story. And so there's,
look, the bottom line, that's crazy. Okay, even if, by the way, let's say his scenario that he said, and maybe like he has the knowledge of it, I still count that as them killing her. You know, if you got so damaged that you did enough pills to destroy your kidneys, you don't find out till a minor accident. Obviously.
So he's absolutely nailed it. It's just a way they get rid of people without it being called murder. That is the definition of homicide, whereby they put it in motion that you're taking certain substances and you die, and no one looks at it as murder.
Obviously, what our national security did to her is really like, to me, that's 100% to blame.
And which is democide, which is the other thing we discussed. If government agents were involved in putting the stressors upon her, if there were black ops, so she's got more stress on her. The stress on her wants her to take more medication to increase the doses. The doctor's there signing off on it. Next thing you know, she doesn't exist. That's how it all comes together, where all the theories meet. It's complex.
Not 100, but 99%. And the fact they're not coming clean with it is like, that's spitting on whatever she did more than anything.